president loses more Americans over the course of 6 weeks than died in the entirety of the Vietnam War, does he deserve to be reelected?
So, yeah, we've lost a lot of people, but if you look at what original projections were, 2.2 million, we're probably heading to 60,000, 70,000. It's far too many. One person is too many for this. And I think we've made a lot of really good decisions. The big decision was closing the border or doing the ban, people coming in from China, obviously other than American citizens, which had to come in.
Think of that question for a moment. He's asked, should a president win if that president loses more Americans in 6 weeks than died in the entirety of the Vietnam War? I mean, what a great DNC talking point attack on President Trump from somebody who was a, quote, journalist. Now, the president responded, I must say, very in a very, reasonable fashion to this. I would not have been nearly so willing to take that and accept the accept what was offered up there the way that he did. I would have said, what? But, I think that with Trump sometimes you never know. He keeps the enemy off balance. You never know what he's going to give them, what they're going to come up with. But remember that the other countries around the world that have been dealing with this too, they've also had terrible death tolls. Look, there are some things that are beyond the control of any government to handle or to prevent or to cure. And I think if you just look at what's happened in nursing homes, old folks' homes, assisted living care facilities, whatever the appropriate or preferred term may be, and how that's the single place where you would think there'd be the greatest focus outside of actual hospitals to prevent the spread of this because of the risk to the people inside. And no matter what the country is, when you look at all of the death data so far, assisted living facilities have been terribly hit by this. In some cases, I think in Sweden, 50% of the deaths are in assisted living facilities. In New York, I think it's pretty close to that, meaning the people that died. When I say I should say people that were infected in an assisted living facility and then either died in that facility or in the hospital after contracting it at the facility. But this just shows you, all the data tells us that people that are in that circumstance are at a very high risk and are particularly vulnerable, and we have not been able to protect them. We have not been able to do what is necessary to protect those folks. So, blaming the government at some level, you wonder, well, what would be considered a great response? What large country has had a great response to this? For a while, it seemed like the media was willing to go with Trump didn't do as well as China did on this. And then people started to say, well, if you're going to force people at gunpoint to stay in their homes and force people to die alone in their homes in what is a true house arrest situation, right? They lock you in your home and you're not allowed to leave your home on pain of God knows what the Chinese Communist Party will do to you. I think the media moved away from that one a little bit, but they still are so invested in creating this narrative that Trump has been completely ineffective in this, done all the wrong things. And I don't think that's fair. And that's putting it mildly. I think it's inaccurate. I think there have been mistakes, but everybody was making mistakes. Heck, I spent days beating myself up saying, how could I not have seen how bad this was going to hit the United States, how badly it was going to hit the U.S., and also what it was going to do to our economy. But, this is why I always tell you, nobody can predict the future. People can identify trends. They can be smart analysts of what's out there, but nobody can predict the future. And that includes health experts and politicians when a pandemic is looming.
Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.